This is Dear Missouri Jury Members, number, 4 or 5 now? This is a video of the Wentzville Police Department's website. And this is the webpage for problem dogs, right? It says to report complaints of animals at large, dog bites, barking dogs, vicious animals, or any other domesticated animal complaints or questions, contact the department, blah, 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 blah. Is there a leash law in Wentzville? Yes, the city of Wentzville requires animals to be on a leash through the Animal at Large Ordinance 5.205.5045, which I will bring up here shortly. It's right there. If your animal is caught running at large, animal control, blah, 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 blah. Get a tag, blah, 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 blah. Summons may also be written to the owners of animals at large, and there will also be an additional fee for impounding the animal. This is a ticket. Summons, right? Okay, what is the definition of at large? When an animal is on any street, alley, or any other public place in the city and is not attached to a leash, the other end of which is securely held by a competent person, or when such animal is on private property within the city and either not attached to a leash, or the other end of which is securely held by a competent person, or not so confined by a fence as to prevent it straying from the premises, an animal which shall remain in an adequate enclosure on the property of its owner without leash or other confinement shall not be deemed to be running at large within the meaning of this definition. Was it an adequate enclosure? Well, there's no fence. It's playing fetch outside with no fence and no leash on it. Was the animal on any street? Yes. It was on the street and private property in my front yard. Not attached to a leash. Not held by another competent person. That's called at large. Clearly, it's at large. The pictures by the police show the blood spot in my front yard where the dog was shot. The dog was running at large. They have laws for this. 205.545. The cops all know this. The prosecutors know this. The judges know this. It shall be unlawful for any owner or controlling party to permit any animal to run at large. Keep in mind, the police report says he was screaming commands at it and it was ignoring her. A. Owners of controlling parties are accountable for proper containment of animals. Any owner or controlling party shall be in violation of this section if any animal within their ownership, control, or custody is not attached to a leash that is held by a competent person, even if within the boundaries of a properly signed electronic, radio wave, underground, or invisible fence in a front or side yard of a residence, or conditions. Backyard doesn't apply. Not tethered doesn't apply. No physical fence doesn't apply. Animals found running at large will be collected by the animal control officer. If the owner is unknown, the animal may be returned to the owner. An enforcement action taken at the discretion of the animal control officer. Or they could impound it. Now, this is a unique situation because the animal is just at large briefly. It is violating the leash law and at large briefly, but attacking someone. C. Animals found running at large that are dangerous, vicious, or ferocious, or display qualities of dangerous, ferocious, vicious, or ferocious shall be handled as set forth in 205.060. Oh, let's look at that. That's how the government handles them. D. Any person found guilty of animal at large by the municipal judge of Wentzville shall be fined penalties in accordance with the following schedule. First offense, $50, not less than, no more than $200. Second, not less than $210, not more than $350. Third, not less than $350 to $400. And over a $500 fine. If an animal was impounded as a result of an owner or controlling person allowing an animal to run at large, then all fees associated with the impoundment payable to the city and state animal shelter shall be paid in addition to fines imposed by the court. My brain can move faster than my lips. I'm sorry. $205.060. RIP. I am super interested to learn that. I'm going to be calling the police tomorrow. I called this number and they're open on Mondays. Why weren't they given a summons? Their dog was irrefutably off a leash and in my yard and had crossed the street by everyone's admission. Why didn't you give them a ticket for having an animal roaming at large when you knew it was shot in my front yard? And furthermore, instead of giving them the summons, why didn't you treat them like you treated me? I didn't get the summons. Why didn't you give them an instant arrest warrant written out by prosecutor Kerry Sullivan, signed by Judge Cornejo of St. Charles County? Even though there's a requirement that I've already listed in videos I uploaded today, that there must be one of two conditions met before a warrant can be issued instead of a summons and a ticket. Those two conditions are: one, there has to be a reasonable belief that the person is not going to attend the summons or the court hearing, or two, that the person is somehow a threat to the victims or is voiced, or there's some concerns that they would be violent toward them in any way, shape, or form. Neither of those allegations have ever been raised against me. Not on any police report, including the original one. This requirement exists. It must be met in order to give an arrest warrant, or you can't give the arrest warrant out. It's in black and white statute. Kerry Sullivan, the prosecutor, knows this, filed it anyway. Say, I pray the court will grant this arrest warrant lawfully. There's no conditions met. The judge knows this, is responsible for knowing it, signed it without the conditions met. That's why I was arrested and not given a ticket. That's why I was pissed off at the police, Wentzville police lieutenant, and Kerry Sullivan, likely as a prosecutor, that female person I called at the prosecutor's office, and told these people, fuck you. Because what they did is not legal in America. They broke existing Missouri statutes knowingly, and even if it wasn't knowingly, it's part of their job to know. And they had me arrested anyway. Legally, sexually assaulted, stripped naked by force. Why didn't they give them that? Like they gave me. They didn't even not give them an arrest warrant. They didn't even give them the ticket. Your dog, no matter what its intentions are, were in my yard after crossing the street. And when this video comes out after the jury gets its verdict, and you see that this thing made a beeline of viciousness, it's going to qualify. It's going to qualify. Vicious, predatory animal. Perjury, bitch. Perjury. Both of you. I've got the... Oh, God, I can't wait. I cannot wait.